Hey, welcome back to Jack's Tech Corner. First, let me say thank you to SmugMug for being the sponsor of this video. If you'd like to get any professional pictures developed and have a great place to put up your work to sell it, or if you're just doing some personal stuff, check out smugmug.com. And go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, and click on their link on the left and use the access code to receive 20% discount at checkout. Also, please check my website, jackstechcorner.com, for some great video tutorial DVDs. You can pick those up relatively cheap. Check them out today. I'm sure you'll be happy you will tomorrow. Okay, folks, so in this video, as I'm sure the title said, we are going to be looking at 3 new tools that came to us now with Photoshop Elements 11. And I'm going to show you how those 3 tools work. We're going to take our time through this. We're not going to rush it because if I did, the video would be very short anyway. But I do want to get to the point and show you exactly what those tools are and how to use those. So, the 3 new tools, as I stated, are under the guided edit. So here I have a picture open. We're going to click on guided edit up here at the top. And we're going to go over to the touch-ups and go down to photo effects. Now the first tool I want to show you that we're going to touch on here is the tilt shift tool. Now I don't know if you've seen it or not, but a while back in my videos, if you look at the archives here on the videos that I've done on YouTube, you'll see that I created a tilt shift effect, and you can do that by hand using any of the Photoshop Elements editors from, I would say, at least version 7 on up to 10. So you don't need to buy 11 for this, but it does make it really easy to do. So let's go ahead and have a look at this. So I click on Tilt Shift, and right here at the top, it's going to show me a little example. If I move my mouse over it, it shows what the picture looked like normally, and when you take your picture off, or I mean your mouse off. Now, I call this people call this the miniature effect. I also call it, if you remember from the earlier days of your life, maybe you watched Mr. Rogers, The World of Make-Believe. That's kind of like what that is. The little houses when he had the little trolley going through. It's kind of what it reminds me of. Anyway, let's go ahead and create a tilt shift and see how easy it is. Then I want you to go back through my archives and find out how I did it by hand, and you tell me which one's easier to do. Now, let's get started. So we have our picture open here, and we're just going to simply click on Add Tilt Shift. When I do that, it's going to take just a second, and there is our tilt shift effect. You can see we have one part in focus, right here, very sharp focus, and then it blurred out the front of the picture and the back of the picture, and it gives us that nice effect of being like a miniature. So it is like a miniature look, and it looks like this one person here is actually not real. More like it's a doll sitting in a little glass pond. Now we can modify this tilt shift. If this is not the look you want, you said, no, this is okay, but it's a nice guess, but it's not exactly what I want. Click on number 2, modify the focus area. When we do that, we can click and drag in here, and we can make the point of focus anywhere we want. So let's say we want to move it back to this group of boats back here in behind this guy. I click here and I just drag it back and leave it go. And now you can see I changed that point of focus to also include this back area. If I want to bring it more front, I can start up here and come back to this guy and leave it go. Let's go back a little bit more and get him back in focus. More like that. Or we can go all the way back here, and you can keep adding more in focus. Just like that. So it's very easy to change the focal point in this actual tilt shift. Now we can also refine our effect. Now refining our effect allows us to use some sliders to change the way the overall picture looks. Let's go ahead and look at that. Refine effect. We can change the blurring and watch the picture. We can make it more blurred, which to me then you lose the effect because now you're blurring everything and all we have is this guy in focus. It's almost like you might as well crop it out. Pull that back. We can also change the saturation of the overall picture by moving this. And really, that's not a bad effect. If you look, you can see the trees are much more saturated behind, and everything looks a little bit different. So you have those sliders to actually make the effect even a little better, or more to your taste, I guess, more suitable to your taste. So that is the tilt shift and how easy it is to use it. Let's cancel that effect. The next effect, if you've never seen a low key and high key shot, a high key shot is where we use a lot of light and we make the subject almost to the point where they're overexposed. It's a real bright shot. Now we can do that by using the natural light and shooting in bright sunlight. We can get a high key shot. We can also get a high key shot by using multiple flashes. We can put flashes around our subject and use a white backdrop and get a very, very high key look. Or you can just bring it into Photoshop Elements and click on your mouse one time and click up here under color once, and we can make a high key effect. Using no lighting, it doesn't matter what your picture started out as, we can start building a high key effect. Now let's go ahead and say we want to add a little bit more diffuse glow. So we want to add more glow to this high key. Just click on number 2. You can see how much brighter or more high key the picture is. Now, what I thought was kind of interesting when I was playing with this and saying, well, what else can it do for me? You can stack these. So watch, we can click this button again. And it's going to brighten it up even more. Click it again. So you can make it more and more intense. And you can see now exactly what a high key does, how it brings that light out and it makes it really, really bright and really powerful. So it's a look that people like. Some people like it and some people don't. My own personal taste, this almost looks like a winter shot. If you look at this, it looks more like these trees are snow covered and the ground is snow covered. And you know, you shot this in the fall. So now it's a look that some people like. Let's go back now. Let's hit cancel on that shot. Now I want to go to the opposite of that. We're going to create a low key shot. Let's say that we shot in brighter sunlight, and I know you're going to say, Jack, we can just go into the exposures and set the exposures. And you're correct, you can. But a low key shot is where you're bringing the lights down somewhat. You're putting a lower key, such as a key light, right? Lower keys. So we'll just click that, and then we'll hit color, and we'll see what our effect is. And there you go. You can see now it blackens everything. High key lightens everything. Low key darkens everything. Now you can use the background brush to fade out the unwanted elements in the background. This enhances the overall low key effect. Or we can reduce the effect. So this is much like, if you've watched a lot of my videos, us using a mask. So we're going to either mask it black or white, or mask it white or black and brighten it up. Let's say we do this one first. Size of our brush, we're going to bring our brush size up a little bit here. I do wish, well, they do work. I was going to say, I wish that the bracket keys do work. So your bracket keys, left to right bracket keys do work in here. So we can actually take the sky here, we can actually blacken it down. And get rid of that. Which, that's a cool effect, right? Doesn't look too bad. Or we can do the reduce effect. So if we click on this, and again, I'm going to bring my brush size up. Maybe we want to reduce the effect on some of the water down here. So we can just brighten some of the water up down here. You know, you could almost brighten all the water up. And I'm just going to put some streaks in it here. Just kind of like this, just to brighten some of that up. And maybe back in here so we can see the water, the edge of the water here. So again, it gives it a nice effect. Another nice little effect there to make that picture even more and more interesting. So let's hit cancel on that and get out of that. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little video tutorial in showing you the new 3 tools in Photoshop Elements 11 under the guided edit. And if you're not subscribed to these videos, please click a minute and click the subscribe button up there somewhere. Just click on it and subscribe to these videos. I produce these videos for you, as you see here, free of charge, just to come and watch these things. But if you would like to have a collection of the videos, by all means, visit my website once again, jackstechcorner.com, and I'll have it in the description down here under the more. You can click on it in there and look at the DVD collection I have. There's a lot of edits that you're going to learn a lot from, and I take it just like we did this one step at a time, and I work you through those edits. So if you're new, if you're a seasoned veteran, you're going to learn something in there. So I hope that you take the time to go look at those and at least see what you think and take a minute and visit. Also, you can comment here. Just drop me a comment to say hi. Let me know how we're doing with the videos. And we'll see you back here next time for another video tutorial. So until then, get those cameras out, keep those shutters clicking, keep the editors editing, and I'll see you back here next time on Jack's Tech Corner for another photography and photo editing video. Bye for now.